made it such a chore. By the time I write the check, I already owe more. And there's always people taking up my time. I already lost my patience, now I'm gonna lose my mind. You can't have all of me, my boss, my job, my family. You can't have all of me, I need a little for myself. You can't have all of me.
Chat earlier to make sure we could see you guys, and so we can.
I had two of you in my
I know,
ears.
so did I. I was trying to talk through it. Anyways, so we're super excited today because we're back from the race, and most of you probably saw the official release that I did pretty well. It was the season opener for Trans Am 2020, finally. It was supposed to be...
West Coast opener.
Yeah, it was supposed to be at Sonoma back in March. And then the COVID virus hit, and we drove all the way there, and they sent us home. And then, so now we're here in August, and we had our first event. So it was pretty awesome. So the track at Thunderhill is in Willows, California, in the middle of nowhere. There's literally nothing around the track at all.
Cows and a Walmart.
And like nothing for like 50 miles. But they have a sound restriction limit of usually 106 decibels. And they decided to bring that down to 103.
No, so the track's normal is 103. Last year they made it 106 for Trans Am, but not this year. They stuck us with the 103.
So we knew this almost a week ahead of time is when we were told that. So Anthony and I did what we could to get the car lower in decibels. We put in some, what were they called? I call them silence Grrs.
I call them ice cream cones.
So we don't have a picture of them, but they're basically like perforated steel that's in the shape of a cone that you put in your exhaust, and it's supposed to dissipate the sound. So
I thought it did a lot, but they called us for sound somehow. Whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was a struggle. We had to run to Napa. Is that who we're gonna plug? It was Napa Auto Parts, and we got Anthony got a 90-degree 3-inch tube. And we tossed that on there, and it looked really ugly, but it worked. So
it was horrible.
and then we had to wear our masks 100% of the time. We got yelled at for not wearing our masks in our pit.
Yeah, we had like walls on our canopy, and like we're inside our little bubble.
It's just us.
Still got yelled at for not having our masks on.
But it was protocol, and it was day one, so we had to learn. But we'll show you guys a picture of the exhaust tube that we had on there in case you missed it. We added it on the side of the car, and it's just like that. It's kind of like a massive dump tube at the side.
Ugh.
Yeah, you can see it in there. God. So the pictures that don't have it were from from practice, and then once we had to add it for qualifying. So you can see it there. You see my money on fire where my exhaust exit is. Well, you can kind of only see it now when we have that tube on there, but temporary fix, worked out pretty good. The weekend was really hot. It was like 105 out with zero cloud cover. There was a little humid towards the evening. But the car ran cool. I was surprised, actually. I didn't see anything over like 197 when we were racing. And man, we did pretty good. So I will jump into that. You want to take it away?
I was reading the comments here that's about the sound going away. What?
Okay. No, I wanted to say, did you want to start it off to tell them how we did and how the race kind of went?
Yeah. Sorry.
God. Anthony's always too sleepy for this.
I'm tired. So the race went really, really well. Starting with practice Saturday morning, we went out. It was pretty hot, and we luckily have driven the car last 2-3 weeks. Within the last month, a couple times we've taken it out, tested. So we knew the car was going to be ready.
It was dialed. The car was handling really well. I tested the brakes. As I mentioned, we got new PFC brakes on there with Joe's Racing Hubs. That was all new. The rear end has been refreshed. Yep. The actually entire axle housing and everything was sent out to Tiger. That was all reconfigured for the alignment.
Right.
We've done a steering box refresh, gearbox refresh. We went through the entire car, and so it was kind of like we knew everything had been covered.
Yeah, it was dialed in. It was just a matter of Michelle was ready or not. And she proved that she was, man. She hung in there. So, yeah, we did practice and Blue Sound, got that figured out. Then we went and out for qualifying. We always have a game plan for qualifying. We get 4 laps, maybe 5.
It's 3 to 5.
3 to 5
That's
laps.
what I aim for.
And that's it, because the tires you qualify on are the tires you have to race on. So you don't want to use them up in qual. So we went out, we did 4 laps, and we nailed the time we wanted, actually a little faster, but that still only put us in 7th for the start of the race, which, yeah,
not great.
Not great.
Not great. I mean, I was happy because I finished, or I made my best personal time. I beat last year's time by about 0.6 of a second, which was a big win for me. But these guys get faster every year, and it just shows the more seat time you have, the better off you're going to be. But starting P7 is better than starting last, and I was happy to be where I was. It's always good to be on the inside for the start. And so it is what it is. You take it as you go. I knew going into the race, the game plan was going to be, just stay consistent. I knew I could run my lap times. I knew I could do it consistently. I knew I could not wear out, and even though I wasn't running the fastest times in the field, I knew that I could keep running those times no matter the condition the tires were in. So that's kind of what our game plan was. And as my dad always says, let the race come to you. Just hit your marks, let the race come to you. Don't worry about anything else. Do what you can do, control what you can control, and go for it. So with that, what do we got here? We got a race start?
Yeah, so I think the race started at 1:15 on Sunday, which was like right before it started getting hot. It started getting real hot at Thunderhill about 3 o'clock. So we beat the heat barely. It was still pretty warm, like 95, 96 degrees out probably. But went out, took the green flag. Again, we started 7th. We did lose a position going in turn 1.
I wasn't really worried about that. I mean, it's early in the race. It's 100 miles, you guys, so it's not a sprint race. It's a pretty long race, and
you're not going to win it in turn 1.
Yeah, it gets a lot harder. The longer you go, the car starts to lose its grip and this and that. So I really wasn't. I mean, the last thing you want to do is lose position, but it happened on the start, so we can show you that.
Yeah, we got a quick clip of the start of the race.
All right, guys, so that's like the start. So the blue car was who qualified 8th, and so he did get me off the start, and it was okay. I stayed calm, cool, and collected. We continued through that lap. No incidents, no nothing. Pretty close racing, actually.
Yeah, actually very close racing. It was pretty good to see. And she hung in that position for, I think, 1 or 2 more laps, and then started catching up to the rest of the field. And actually got her position back, and then got the next guy in front of her as well, all within 1 lap, which was pretty rad.
It was really fun to finally pass somebody. So I'll be the first to admit, I have passed people in Trans Am races in the past, but never the way I did. Whatever I was gonna say yesterday, but whatever it was on Sunday. So I passed these guys, and then I looked in behind me, and they were just gone. It was like they gave up. I mean, they didn't, but for whatever reason, I was so in tune with the car and how I was driving, and so determined to just go and don't look back. I mean, I checked it and glanced at my rearview mirror, and there was nothing there. It was so weird. So we'll show you guys the pass I made in turn 1. It was pretty. It's pretty awesome, man. I'm so excited about how we did it.
And
awesome.
This clip actually goes through pretty much a whole lap when she catches the Mustang too. So.
So, yeah, there you go, guys. Those are the first 2 passes of, a couple laps into the race.
Yeah.
Both those guys out-qualified me. But, yeah, like I said, we passed them, and then they were just gone. And I was alone by myself for a while.
Yeah, probably about almost 20 minutes, it seemed like.
It was a long time, and it was the perfect opportunity to get a chance to kind of stay focused and be consistent. And Anthony was in my ear telling me kind of my lap times and, the space between the guys in front of me and the space between the guys behind me. And I know somebody had asked previously, like, when you're racing like that, how do you know, like, how close you are to them and how to react, when they're braking and all those things. And, like, I can't really answer that question because, like, it's just instinct. And when I'm behind somebody, like, inches from their bumper or maybe pushing them a little.
Yeah, usually pushing them.
The thought in my mind is that they're not even there. I'm just driving my line, and they're in the way. And, it's something you learn to do. That's why, as a racing driver, you don't look in front of you. You're looking corners ahead of you. So for me, of course, I'm cautious because you don't want to push anybody off the racetrack and you don't want to cause a collision or anything like that. But you also need to get those extra tenths of a second to get past whoever's in front of you, or maybe try a different line, or your braking might change. And if you go back after we watch this, podcast, if you go back and watch these clips, you can actually hear when I'm passing the blue Mustang, like, I'm going, and then I wait until he brakes and I lift, and then I get right back on the throttle for like half a second just to initiate that final pass. And I can tell you that I don't think about any of that stuff. It just kind of happens. It's not like I'm playing it out. But I will say when I was behind the white Mustang, I am kind of trying to see where I'm faster, because you'll always have people that are faster than you in certain parts of the track, and then other parts where you're faster. And if you're smart, which it's taken me a really long time to be smart, you strategize your plan to pass. And that's something I also did with the third place guy. So we were stuck behind him actually, I had to reel him in. I think he was over 20 seconds ahead of me. I mean, once the tracks spanned out, there's a point where I couldn't even see third place when I was in fourth place. And with Anthony's help, I just consistently kept trying to lay down consistent lap times and get there, and eventually I did. So,
got some questions going on here?
Let's see. Sorry, I have to look at the phone because we can't see him up on the screen.
Judy, what's up?
That's my mom. Hi, Mom. I don't see any questions, so you can look at the questions.
Right. We had, how can you see?
How can I see?
I sat in the car the other day and I was like, oh my God, I don't know how you can see out of this thing.
Yeah, you kind of can't. You can see in front of you.
You cannot see the front of the car.
You kind of gotta guess where the front end is. There's a lot of times where I think I'm probably touching them, but I don't really know. But it doesn't really matter because that's how close Trans Am racing is. You race the car and you start to learn the gauge of the nose on the car. So
it's way out there, man. It's gone.
We sit pretty low. It's really hard to see on your right side, especially when you make those passes. You've got the head bolsters, you've got window net, you've got on the right side of my car, I've got a bunch of NACA ducts for cooling, so limited visual.
And then she's got me talking in her ear.
Helping me out.
Tom Bogner, hey team, I want to see you behind my white Mustang.
There you go. All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
That car's fast, man.
Yeah.
I would be behind you. Jamie Berner, how you said the race lasted how long?
Oh, I think, 70 minutes or something?
So it's 70 minutes or 100 miles, whichever comes first, and 100 miles equaled about 33 laps. So we ended up lapping out. We did 33 laps. It took like 65 minutes. So.
And I lapped people.
Yeah.
I lapped people. It was the coolest thing. Like, I don't know. We just had such a great race. And I'm not even that strong at Thunderhill. I used to say it was my favorite track, but I've learned to really not like Thunderhill. So to do well there is like a really big deal for me. It put a lot of confidence in me and just made me feel really good because Anthony was calling the race, halfway through, like, you're running faster lap times than the leaders. Keep it up. Like, it was crazy. I thought he was lying to me, but I know he won't lie to me on the radio.
Yeah, she was 2 to 4 seconds faster than the leaders for the whole from lap like 16 on. It was awesome, man. A lot of people were really impressed.
Yeah, so let's see. What else we got?
Bo Borders, you laughed me. Yeah. You had some problems with your car, right, Bo? I think I heard you had some issues.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's totally different class.
Yeah, no, you
Totally
can't talk
that
down about that.
either.
You're in a GT car, right? GT
Yeah,
or
GT car.
yeah, so GT. In Trans Am, you've got GT, SGT, XGT, TA2, and TA1, which TA1 they just call TA. And there's on West Coast we all run at the same time. So, but when I say that I was excited about lapping people, it was actually people in my class. So that was kind of cool. Because I have been lapped several times last year in the Trans Am series. So it was nice to be on the lead lap and be pulling in the leaders. I mean, it was an awesome feeling. I mean, it was the point where like you could kind of see them in their horizon, and then the next lap they're closer, and the next lap they're closer, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, this is third place right in front of me, you know what I mean? So we caught third with about 10 laps to go, and his name is Tom Clower, a seasoned racer for sure. Very, very, very respectable driver. I was just beyond stoked at how he raced me and how much respect he had when I was next to him, when I was behind him, raced me clean, and I got so close to getting it done. But yeah, let's see. I made a couple mistakes, so I'm still learning how to drive the car. Unfortunately, like I don't have this all handled yet, but the car gets extremely loose. Like how much soon into the race?
I don't know. I'd probably say you start telling me the car's loose 10, 11, maybe 12 laps in.
So less than halfway.
Yeah.
So the car gets loose, and I'm learning that you can't drive it the same. You have to start dialing back. You have to be a little more patient on the throttle. You have to be more patient with the brakes. And so with that, I made a couple mistakes. I was really reeling him in. And then I think we have the clip where I go off, right?
Yeah. So we do have the clip where you just getting up to third place. And I don't know what happened.
So on the back side of the track, I don't count the corners. I don't know the numbers, but on the back side of the track, after bypass, there's a right-hander and then a very long sweeping left-hander. The right hand of the car can get extremely loose, and it's where Anthony can see my taillights. And Anthony's like, nobody's braking there, but you're braking there. You need to stop braking there. And so like the whole time I'm going through this corner, every lap, I'm like, oh God, he can see my brake lights. He can see my brake lights. And I don't know if I broke or not on the clip, but long story short, the car kind of oversteered a little bit, and then it pushed me off track. So we can play it and show you guys what happened. But the car in front of me is third place, and this is right when I reeled him in. So surprisingly, you guys, with that off, I only lost like 4 seconds, I think. 4 seconds. And that was the move that everybody was like, I don't know how you didn't lose it right there. Like, because, I don't know, they could see how sideways I was, and I managed to keep it straight, and just my instincts kicked in, and thank God. I was like, I'm not spitting in this race. I was just like, not having it.
Yeah, right after that, I was like, we have 10, or no, we had 3 laps to go when that happened.
That's right, yeah.
I was like, we got 3 laps. And you're like, I'm going to get him. I'm like, yeah, sure you are. But we actually forgot to show you guys. We do have some video passing some of the lap traffic. This will just kind of get you an idea of the speed difference in some of the classes. So you'll see like a red Camaro, that's a GT class, a silver Audi R8 as the SGT class. And then I think you'll see Bo's blue Mustang. And then there's a yellow Trans Am TA2 car, which is our friend Cameron.
Yeah.
Kind of not fair. He was having a lot of issues,
overheating and stuff.
Yeah, but he put this giant muffler in his car to try to make sound, and it ended up hurting his car. And that was a crappy weekend.
I
for him.
see a question there on YouTube. Do you think you'll get a podium finish at the next race? I really hope so. There is a couple of teams based out of Sonoma. That's where the next race is. So they have a lot of track time there. A lot of multi-car team, and I think that if I stay cool and I keep my mind straight, I think I can do pretty well there. I want nothing more than get on the podium. That's my first goal of Trans Am right now, is to get on the podium and then of course win a race. So hopefully that's next. But we'll roll the clip that Anthony was just talking about, and you'll come back from that.
I was surprised that you were that much faster than that R8.
Yeah, I was too.
All-wheel drive V8,
yeah,
V10. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, it kind of shocked me too, and the closing speeds. And we were one of the first clip. We were in a really slow corner, and yeah, it was pretty gnarly. But
that was sketchy.
It was clean. It was good.
Oh yeah, and I'm not being rude. I'm looking at the Facebook comments again. They're not coming up on our screen, so I'm not being a jerk looking at my
Super
phone
rude.
again.
Yeah. So okay, and then I think we have one more clip, right? So the one we showed you where we had 3 laps to go, and I went all 4 off and came back on. Had a 4-second gap. Was able to make that up within, I think, a lap.
Yeah, it was insane. She was on fire. I was like, oh man, she's pushing this car right now. She wants to get back up to that 3rd place. You finally did, and coming on the front straight for that white flag lap, you were glued to that dude's bumper, and that was quite the last lap.
Yeah, I knew once I had caught him, I didn't want to pass him too soon. Not that I had the opportunity to, but the thing is, when you're racing to the checkered flag, you don't want to make your pass too soon, especially if the guy that you're passing is just about as fast as you, because they can either move you or make another pass on you. So I was trying to strategically plan it, and we'll show you guys how it went down. But basically, I didn't get to pass him anywhere on like 90% of the track, and then are you rolling the clip from the right before the two right-handers?
I think it's going on the front straight. I think.
Well, we'll just roll it. You guys can watch it. We'll just roll it. Just keep your eye out. If you know the track, when we go under the bridge, that's when I made my move. So we'll roll it, and you guys can check it out. There it is. It was so close. So I don't know if you guys caught it, but going into the final 2 right-handers before we went on the front straightaway, I did get on his outside. I did manage to pass him, but as we talked about, I had that exhaust turnout,
tube,
and it was about 8 inches off the body of the car. So I knew that was there, and he was on the inside, and typically when you're pushing it through a corner, you can kind of get shoved off. But Tom, kept his line, and we both just kind of. We made our way through the corner, but the problem was that I dropped my 2 wheels off the left side there, and that's what really kind of grabbed my speed and slowed me down a bit. And
yeah, but you still ended up 0.25 seconds because at Thunderhill, the finish line is actually behind the flagging station.
Yeah.
So a lot of people hit the flag station and they'll back out. But you still got a good, 20, 30 feet?
Yeah, I mean, he pulled me hard through the corner, that last corner. You could see he walked me, but I started reeling him in again, and you were in my ear like, go, go, go. I'm like, I can't push the gas pedal any harder. Like, this is all I got, And
Yeah, I think you hit it, 140?
141, I think, as we entered turn one. So thankfully, being a good sport, Tom allowed me to take that inside, on turn one after the lap was over, because I was hauling, and I was like, if he turns down, I can't really do much. But yeah, no. That's racing, and it was so much fun. And to race with somebody like that I don't know Tom. I mean, I never met him. I know his name, but to race like that for so long and like reel him in, and I mean, his crew chief came over to me and congratulated me and said like, that was awesome. You did really well. And he's like, I thought you were gone when you did 4 off. He's like, I told Tom that that's it. But you can't give up, man. You can't give up. And there's been races I've been in before where I've been spun out twice and come back from it to win, and that's what racing's all about. It's perseverance and just having a never give up attitude. And finally this race, I didn't lose my temper. It was the first race that something went wrong, my mistake, and I just stayed calm, cool, and collected and just kept racing, and I can't stress how important that is.
Yeah, that was huge.
I mean, usually I'm screaming at Anthony like, I effed up, and and I didn't say anything. I just kept driving, and I kept my head down. And
no, you said, I'm gonna get him.
I guess I don't remember saying that, but right. I guess that's what I said.
So good luck.
I see there's a bunch of questions we have here. I know
let's catch up on some questions.
Yeah, at the 30-minute mark, but we're good. Let's see. If you had a chance to race in any other category, what would it be? I really want to focus on TA2 right now.
Yeah.
I need to learn this car. I want to win in this car. I want to become really good in it. So I'm not focused on doing anything but TA2 right now. I mean, just to go off the cusp, I would say I'd love to get into an IMSA car, GT4, something like that. But that's not my focus.
I think I might want to start racing something.
That'd be cool.
The P71 cop cars.
Yes.
Our friend Brett Madsen.
Yep.
He started a little series racing old retired P71 cop cars.
Well, they're not. I guess they're time. It's like Time Attack. They don't wheel to wheel.
Yeah, that's fine.
Baby steps.
Yeah, I've never raced anything.
I know. Go-karts.
Man,
Anthony's good at go-karting. Anyway,
no, they turned my cart up and yours down. I used to pay the dude extra.
TA2 car makes 500 wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a restrictor plate in there.
Yeah, 2.5 inch.
Or
2.25.
He knows.
2.5.
Whatever. It's big. What else we got?
Did she steal your lunch money?
I don't know who
she is, but I doubt it. Michelle would punch her. Let's see. Oh, Cody Saucier. He's in here. What's up, brother?
Hi, Cody.
He's our buddy. He drives monster trucks.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Let's see what else.
How fast were you going?
It says it on there. It is on the bottom right-hand corner how fast I was going.
I think the top we hit was that last front straight going for the checker, 141.
Can you play it one more time? Yeah, let's roll it one more time.
We can play it again real quick.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, 127, 8, 9, 30, 35, 7, 40, 41.
41, yeah. So now I know I can get into that corner a lot faster than I was going. But
that's moving.
I love the sound of the TA2 car. I know a lot of you guys were commenting on the sound of it. Inside the car, I can't hear anything. I got earplugs in and all kinds of stuff. But
it sounds good.
It sounds pretty good.
It sounds real good. Let's see. How hard/shocking/challenging has the change from the FRS to the TA2 Camaro been? Quite the jump power-wise.
Yeah, it's totally different.
We had a stepping stone there in between.
Yeah, thankfully I got into a tube chassis car, stock car, pretty much, but that was built for road course racing. Thanks to my friend Tim Adelson.
He's the coolest guy ever.
He's the one that
he helped us and ruined us.
Yeah, he's the one that showed me what a real race car is. Yeah. Not talking down to any racers out there or what you're driving, but in my experience, whatever you're driving is the coolest car. It doesn't matter if it's a Miata, it doesn't matter if it's a go-kart, it doesn't matter if it's a McLaren.
Swift.
It could be anything. That's just my experience. I've always the next car I got into was the better one. So now that we're running TA2 cars, I just really love having the safety. Number one, it's a tube chassis car. You get hit, it's just fiberglass, so you don't have to reconstruct a whole tub chassis. But to answer the question, I mean, if you just look at the size and shape of the tires that were running in comparison to the Scion. I mean, the Scion had like a 245/45/17 with a sidewall that was like this big, and the TA2 car is like a sidewall that's this big and it's massive. So there is nothing the same at all.
Totally different. I guess I can answer that from crew chief mechanic side of things. I freaking love the TA2 car. At first I was super intimidated by it. I'm like, oh man, I got this big gnarly tube chassis car, but man, it is easy, it's reliable, it's fun. I mean, I love it. I love working on that thing.
I see a comment, why does it say you're in fourth gear the entire time? Because I can't afford to have sensors on everything. So yes, it will say I'm in fourth gear as long as I'm going over like 30 miles an hour. So yeah, there's some stuff on there that's irrelevant. Plus, like, I know what gear I'm in. There's only 4 of them, so it's either you're in first, second, third, or fourth.
Usually 2, 3, 4, but
yeah. So so good catch there. Yeah, no, I definitely. I probably wasn't fourth for the front straight there, but I see Judy asked, "Is there a lot of vibration? Does it distract you? How do you keep your focus when all that motor power is right there?" Yeah, the TA2 car, actually, I was talking to Cameron, I didn't get to tell you this earlier, and he's like, does your car feel like a shaky can of like, bolts in a bucket?
I hope not.
And I was like, no, that sounds terrifying. But Cameron comes from open-wheel cars, and so it's a big car. Yes, there's a lot of vibration. There's a lot of noise. The motor's really loud. The transmission's even louder than the motor, which I was shocked.
Yeah, the transmission sounds so nice.
How much, like, louder the transmission is.
Straight cut gears, just whining.
But I don't really hear any of that stuff. It's all natural when I hear it. It sounds like it's supposed to, and if it doesn't sound like that, then it's scary. Like if something doesn't sound right, that might take my focus away. But no, I feel pretty well at home in the TA2 car, and I felt really good. Probably the best I've ever felt at Thunderhill this past weekend.
That was awesome. We got a question from a very special viewer. His name is Roman McCurdy.
My buddy Roman. What did he ask?
He's actually one of our teammates.
Yes.
He's part of Grr Racing. We'll be sure to bring him on another time. But he's actually, I think, one of 3 Grr Racing drivers.
There's only 3 of us.
I'm sure you guys don't even know that.
Yeah, so
there are multiple Grr Racing drivers right now.
I plan to grow the Grr Racing team, but Roman is based in the Pacific Northwest, and he's my biggest little fan.
Yeah.
Or my littlest big fan, I guess is the best way to say it.
He's getting big now.
I know.
Watching him grow up.
And then my other teammate is Paul Kuzma, based in Arizona.
Yep.
Very, very, very good friend of mine. So those are the 3 drivers right now of the Grr Racing team. I'm going to be doing more highlights of them, but let's hear what Roman had to say.
Yeah, he said, his dad, Ryan. Roman wants to know how fast you've ever gone.
The fastest I've ever gone was 172 in the stock car at Thunderhill. And that was on the back, and I radioed. Anthony wasn't my crew chief on that car.
That was at Portland.
Wherever it was.
Anthony
Anthony wasn't my crew chief for that car, so I radioed Craig Rodman. And I said, actually, I didn't radio him. I waited till I came back in the pits because it wasn't that important. And I was like, hey, I don't think the speedometer is working because it said 172. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's working. And I'm like, I was going 172. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, whoa. Like, what? So that's the fastest I've ever gone. I know that the TA2 car will make 200 miles an hour at Daytona. I've yet to be there. Maybe if funding comes in, we can make it to Daytona someday.
We'll see. Who else? What do we got on here? I don't know. I think that's about it for questions. The race recap.
Yeah,
it was a good weekend.
I
it was a lot of fun.
I figured our podcast would be a little bit different with the race recap, take up most of our time. So we're going to skip on the motorsports news today, and sponsorship tips and all that we'll come back with next week. I see a comment there from Ryan Upchurch. I love your Project Romero series with Brett and Axel. Awesome. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to add.
I'm still slacking.
We are actually in studio at Insane Power with Brett. So a lot of people think that this podcast is coming straight from our home, which it's not.
Nope.
So maybe next week we'll give you guys kind of a background behind the scenes tour of what it looks like in here in the studio.
Yeah, and the 2 dudes back
there. Yeah, that make all the magic happen.
Yeah, we just sit here and talk.
Yeah.
That dude is crushing it on
PJ's awesome.
He's got 5 computers in front of him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how he knows what he's doing. It's crazy.
So yeah, big big difference between doing it ourselves. I mean, I don't have any fancy microphones or headphones at the house and stuff, but yeah. So I think that'll wrap it up. What do you think?
Yeah. I told Michelle that after this, I'm getting my hair cut. And then I am working on Project Gamero videos, and I am getting them out. I promise. Sorry, I've been slacking. That race.
He hasn't been
important.
slacking. He's just, his priorities are in the right order. So unfortunately, Gamero took a sidestep, but it'll come back.
It's coming back. I'm gonna put one together tonight, maybe a couple. We'll get them out for you guys.
Yep.
And we have some other stuff. I've been piling up videos. I need to get through them.
Please be sure to follow or subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys, really appreciate all your support. It's been awesome. Been growing it, and it's really just crazy how many of you guys follow what we do and are take part in it. So be sure. Oh, and actually, I know I made it because somebody made a fake Instagram account with my name. So I think that means I'm somebody now because someone's trying to be me. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, if you get a weird random friends request from a private profile, it's not me. It's my name, but whatever. But yeah, be sure to come back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be giving you more from the Grr Racing Podcast. And thank you guys for tuning in. Yep. And if you have any other questions, shoot them my way. Be sure to follow Anthony on Instagram. He doesn't have any followers.
I don't need followers.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.